can't stop him, and I'm going to say you can only hope to contain him, but you can't.
He is one tough guy.
There's no question about that. Wilson keeps. Nowhere to go. Back in the end zone. Touchdown. Wilson airs it out. Touchdown, DK Metcalf. Here's a throw to Moore. Sidesteps for the touchdown. Unbelievable. Wilson steps through, flips wide open, and caught. Touchdown, Carson. All Russell Wilson has done is win.
Well, Russell Wilson coming off a ridiculous performance last week. Let's head over to Omar Ruiz with more on Seattle and Cleveland.
Good morning. The Seahawks landed in Cleveland last night with both left tackle Dwayne Brown and right guard DJ Fluker. So according to Pete Carroll, there's a chance they could play, but both are listed as doubtful to go against the Browns. So the Seahawks do take the field with a shuffled offensive line. Carroll told me it'll be up to center Justin Britt and Russell Wilson to elevate their play from a communication standpoint. By most every measure, Wilson's play has already been elevated this season, off to the best start of his career. He's the only quarterback in the NFL the last couple seasons to have a completion percentage of better than 50% on deep balls. And throughout his career, Wilson's been defined by his clutch play. And he recently met up with Mr. October from baseball, Reggie Jackson, at a Yankees playoff game. I asked Wilson what their conversation was about, and he said they spoke about what being clutch means. Wilson's saying it's a belief, a swagger that you either exude or you don't. Wilson's obviously put that on display several times this season. They hope it continues tomorrow against the Browns.
What does being clutch mean? Look around me. Boom, clutch, 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 swagger, swagger, swagger. I like that. Just throwing it up, just hyping you all up a little bit. All right, we're actually going to start with D. Hall here, talking about Russ. So we hear him, that swagger, Yankees jacket. I'm just going to throw it in there. But what is that you're seeing from Russ?
Oh, my goodness. It's just the ability to make things look effortless. You know, I felt like, it comes a certain point in your career where you just understand everything. You understand what teams are trying to do to you. You understand what you're doing system-wise. And you just feel like, not invincible, but you just feel so comfortable. It doesn't feel like a game anymore. And when I watch Russ play, that's what I see from him. I see just the ultimate confidence and just knowing that he can get out of any situation, whether it's an open rusher to him. Sometimes he doesn't even slide the protection. He just knows this guy's going to be open. Let me make a move and still get the ball downfield. You couple that with this run defense. I mean, I'm sorry, not just run defense, but this run game that they have. I just think Seattle is hard to beat right now, especially, you talk about going up there playing in Seattle. Yeah. I just don't see another team in the NFC that's as complete of a football team and has a dynamic player at the quarterback position like Seattle at this point.
You can't teach what Russell Wilson does.
Houdini.
He's a special player, man. Yeah. I mean, he definitely is a special player. You know, I've been on the field with him. You just never seem to think that you're out of a game. No matter what the scoreboard says, you're like, it's going to happen. I mean, what he's doing this year, like all of the past MVPs, from the last couple of years, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, he surpassed all of those numbers through the first 5 weeks of what those guys were doing. He's completing the ball over 73%, 9 yards per attempt, 12 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, like flawless. And you hear me always say he's the best deep ball thrower in our game. Yeah. It does not matter who the receiver is. But this is what makes Russell special. He can beat you any way that you want it. Right? If you're going to play and drop 8 and not have passing windows for him, or you're going to take his receivers out, he doesn't mind running the ball 35 times if he has to.
Yep.
If you're gonna take the quarterback run game away from him, he'll stand in the pocket and throw the ball 55 times. He has that ability, and this is what I've tried to tell, when I talk to, other movement quarterbacks who say, oh, I want to show everybody I can stand in the pocket and beat you from the pocket. That's exactly how they talk. That's exactly how they talk. I want to sit here and stand in the pocket like all these other guys. You know what I'm saying?
It's amazing.
But it's like, no, man. Russ is like, I don't care.
Win.
I'm gonna win the damn game, right? It does not matter however you want to be beat. I have the skill set to beat you that way. That's why, to me, it's always easy game planning when you have a guy like Russell Wilson as your quarterback.
It's easy game planning when you also have a reliable target for him that he's found in Will Dissly. Well, he's got a couple going on, but Will Dissly. Dissly's an interesting one because he never really was asked to do what he's doing on the pro level at college. So he kind of slipped under the radar, and he's right there in the Pacific Northwest. Seattle's got that pipeline. They're getting info from Washington, and they know, hey, this is a guy that could potentially do this at this level, and now he's doing it. I mean, he's got 23 catches this year. He never had 23 in a season in college. So he's really emerging as both a receiving threat and a blocking threat. He's a complete tight end, and that really has made a difference in their division, why they're a team to reckon with.
And Jeezy, I'm so glad you pointed this guy out. I hope young players around the country are watching this young man, right? He mastered one part of his game to get him on the field, and that was blocking. He's an excellent blocker at the point of attack. Well, guess what? They mess up and call passing plays when you're in the game, and now he's showing them that he can also catch the ball as a tight end. Love it, man.
Yeah, another young player, DK Metcalf. I will not bench you on my fantasy team ever again. I learned the hide rate last week. All right, guys, we have a lot more coming up. Let me pose this question for you. Do you think Christian McCaffrey probably just swam across the pond, for extra cardio and